I've made over 2,000 pieces of content, amassing millions of views, educating people on how to buy a home. Now, the biggest question I get is an overall question of, should I buy now or should I wait? In today's video, in around 5 minutes, I'm going to tell you what you should do, whether you need to buy or you should continue renting. Because even though I'm a realtor, I'm going to be the first one to tell you, not everyone should buy. But to see what you should do, we need to understand the market first. In Irvine specifically, home prices from January 1st, 2024 to January 1st, 2025 are up 7.4%. Now this means that whatever was affordable last year is now even less affordable this year. Now historically this is high, but historically home prices will always continue to rise. Also, the mortgage rates right now are about 6.7%, which is historically pretty average, but because we have such high prices, it's making it really hard to get affordable housing. Now with interest rates, it's one of those things, you can kind of see where the market's going to go, but interest rates, the experts are always wrong. So interest rates in a year could be lower or higher. No one really knows. They're guessing that they're going to be lower in the coming months. But again, they're wrong almost every time. But price is one that you still can't guess because I can't predict the future, but you can still get a little bit of a better idea of what's going on if you look at the numbers. And really, price is just supply and demand. So is inventory high and demand high, or what's kind of the theory with that? So for Irvine specifically, the reason why we're seeing such high prices, and even for some communities a 30% increase year to year, is because there's no homes on the market, meaning that there's low inventory. And Irvine is one of the best places in Southern California, so everyone wants to move here. And if there's not a lot of homes for sale, the prices are just going to continue to rise. Now, why are there so many homes that aren't for sale in Irvine? My theory, and the theory that most people kind of agree with, is interest rates, 4 years ago were at 2.9% and everyone was buying. Now it's 4 years later, the interest rate is almost double, prices are almost double. So people who own their homes don't want to sell their homes because right now, if they want to get a 10% better house, they're probably going to have double the mortgage. So that's why we're not seeing a lot of homes for sale right now. So what are the key takeaways of that? Price and rate always changes. Now prices normally always going to go up. Obviously there's ebbs and flows, but if you own a home for 10 years, you're going to make money on it. And rates are always fluctuating, and God knows what rates are going to be. So I wouldn't track them too close. So the market right now, in short, for most people is really difficult. Prices are high and interest rates in comparison to the price is also high. But now let's look into the numbers of what that looks like. So a starter home in Irvine is going to cost you roughly $750,000. So the numbers we're going to run is going to be off of that. So now let's look at the numbers if you bought now a $750,000 home versus if you waited. If prices go up 5%, which is about the average, but again, remember last year it was a little over 7, your home would now be $787,000, which is $37,000 in equity. Now, if rates go up just 1% next year, if you still bought that $750,000 house, your monthly payment is going to be $484 extra a month. Now, that's if you put 3.5% down with an FHA on this $750,000 house. Now, over 5 years, this difference would cost you over $29,000. So that means waiting for a home could cost you more than the upfront cost of getting into the home. So what's the takeaway? Waiting to buy a home could cost you a lot more than having to buy the home in the first place. So now here's the golden question. So what do I do with this? First, we'll go into the reasons why you shouldn't buy. The only way you can really lose in real estate because of all of its advantages is if you spread yourself too thin and you go under on the home. So if you can't comfortably afford a home that you like, then you should not buy right now. Or right now, if you have bad credit, because interest rates are so high already, if you have bad credit on top of that, and now it's making the interest rate even higher, it could be difficult for you. But there still are a lot of loans that allow lower credit. But reach out to me and I'll let you know some lenders who can talk to you about that. Now, also another one of the biggest reasons why you shouldn't buy is if you're not going to be in the area for a long time. Now, because the market is so volatile right now, you want to make sure you're going to be in that home for at least 5 to 10 years for it to be beneficial for you. Because the honest truth is if you're going to live here for 2 to 4 years or less, renting is going to be a better option and you're going to save more money on that. Now, I know that's surprising to hear from the real estate agent who makes money if you buy homes, but seriously, because of the market right now, if you're going to hold your home for less than 4 years, we're probably not going to see that big of an increase in the next 2 to 4 years. So if you're going to stay in the area for not that long, I wouldn't buy. Now, here are the reasons why you should buy. My golden rule is if you can comfortably afford a home that you like, there's really no reason not to buy. Now, especially if you want to stay in this area for 5 to 10 years or forever, then you should really buy a home, because in 5 to 10 years, home prices are going to be maybe even double what they are now. And as a fun little idea to think about that I think makes it make more sense, is your ability to save more money is probably going to be outperformed by the market growing. So for instance, your home making $35,000 in equity a year at a 5% return is probably going to be a lot easier than you saving an extra $35,000 a year. Realistically, saving an extra $10,000 on top of what you're already saving now is going to be really difficult. And as a little extra fun fact, NAR, the National Association of Realtors, made a little study recently where it showed that the net worth of homeowners is actually 40 times renters. Now, obviously, homeowners are more likely to have a higher paying job, but the interesting statistic is they found that 2/3 of their net worth was from real estate, showing that real estate is the biggest and best investment when it comes to overall net worth. So the too long didn't read of this is, if you can't comfortably afford a home in an area that you like, in a home that you like, and you're not going to stay there for a long time, you should not buy. Just keep on renting. But if you can comfortably afford a home you like, in an area you like, that you want to stay in for 5+ years, then there's really no reason not to buy. But as always, every situation is very individual. So my general advice might not fit your situation. So if you want a professional guidance on what you should do, reach out to me in the description below. Also put my number here just so it's a little bit easier for you. But like I was saying, especially in today's market, your situation is going to be so individual. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, make sure you reach out and see what your options are. But as always, thank you so much for tuning into this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and it showed a little bit onto if you should buy or if you should continue renting. Now, I do release these videos once a week on Friday, educating people on how to buy a home and the benefits of home ownership. So if you really like the video, consider subscribing, because I think it's going to be very valuable for you if you either want to buy soon, you want to buy in the future, or you just like to learn more about real estate. So thank you so much for tuning into this week's video. I can't wait to see you in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.